Okay, now story in Alan Wake, The Signal, DLC. I'm not going to talk about that much, mostly because it pretty much continues straight from the ending. So if I have to explain it, then it'll kind of ruin the ending. It actually will ruin the ending. So I'm not going to explain it at all. I'm just gonna say it's just like Alan Wake, the regular. It's great. It's fantastic. So there you go. Done. So let's go on to the sound of Alan Wake, The Signal. Okay, now the sound in this game is really, really good, I have to admit. It's only an hour and a half, but I mean the environmental sounds, the spooky sound effects, all are still as good as the original game. The voiceovers are good. The voice of Alan it definitely fits his character. The voice of what's his name? Thomas Zane is very like mystifying a little bit, and you definitely trust the guy because he has a voice that you trust. He's like, Alan, I am Jesus. If you watch my playthrough, I call him Jesus a lot. You'll see why. He's pretty much a light in the sky. Come on. Anyway, overall the sound effects, overall the sound, everything for the sound is really really good, just like the original game. Let's go on to the graphics of Alan Wake. Okay, now the graphics in the DLC are just as good as the graphics in Alan Wake 1. So I gotta say, first of all, the graphics are amazing. Now, actually, I would say they're probably a little bit better, maybe because they had 2 more months to polish, maybe, I don't know. It's also much shorter, so maybe they had more time to just focus on the graphics themselves. I think they look better because it's much more moody, much more dark. You get a couple new enemy types. You get TVs this time that try to kill you. That's pretty awesome. I think you get books that try to kill you. You get more of those word things. If you know what I'm talking about. If you've played until the end, you get more of those word things. It will say phone, and if you put light to it, a phone will appear. It has more of those things, and those are really cool. Just like the explosions, there's more explosions and stuff, more darkness around everywhere, and it just looks great. Overall, Alan Wake is one of the best looking games I've ever seen. Except the character models. The character models aren't that great, and not really different here. You don't get many CG cutscenes, so yeah, you just get mostly the game itself. So still, the character models are okay, but not great. The environments are fantastic, though. So let's go on to the gameplay of Alan Wake: The Signal. Okay, now the gameplay, if you watched my playthrough, you would have noticed that I think on screen at once there could be up to freaking 50 enemies, because I think I fought about 100 bad guys in the whole freaking playthrough. And it's only an hour game, really. An hour and 15 minutes, I would say. It's really, 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 really repetitive. I have to admit, it gets a little too repetitive, but I have to say the first half of it was really, really spooky. The next half is where it got really repetitive, really. So I gotta admit, it got a little too repetitive in the next half, but the first half is really spooky. You don't get that many enemies, but later on there's a part where they just keep appearing, and you have to get across this thing. There is no set limit for these guys. They'll just keep appearing until you get across this part. And that was a pretty scary part, but still, there's too many freaking guys to fight. I mean, all you do is shine a light on them, and then they become human. It's not like it should be a more rewarding thing, like in one part you have 4, and then you walk a little bit, and then you have 2. Not you walk here, you have 50. Walk here, you have another 20. It's a little bit too much. It ain't Dynasty Warriors. Don't turn Alan Wake into Dynasty Warriors. I don't want to see that. But overall, for a free DLC, I got it for free. If you bought the game new, you got it for free. So for a free DLC, I really liked it. Even though it got a little repetitive, I wouldn't say really, really repetitive. It got a little repetitive, okay? Maybe I was being a little bit too harsh before. For free DLC, I have to admit, I really, really liked it. So I'm just going to give it a score. If you loved Alan Wake, like I did, then what are you waiting for? If you have a DLC code, if you have $7, go get it right now. If you didn't like Alan Wake, then there's no reason to get it. And if you didn't, get your brain checked. So anyway, no, I'm just kidding. If you didn't like it, then fine. Overall, I'll give this DLC a 8.3 out of 10. I really liked it. And that's a random score, but whatever. 8.3 out of 10. Mostly because it gets a little repetitive. But the story and everything else is great. So definitely, definitely, definitely a good DLC. Definitely for free. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Anyway, I'm done. Cheerio.